Hey guys, sorry I'm late. How's everybody doing today? Let's get this stream started. Like always, my name is Najarro, and we can take a quick look at what's happening in the stock market today. Give me a quick second, guys, to get everything set up. I wonder how the market is doing. We've kind of been in quite a slump the past few days. I wonder if that slump is still here. But anyways, guys, good morning. Hope everybody's doing well. And let's see, do we have anything interesting? Fizz, hey, still haven't looked at Nvidia or see earnings much. Being on holiday is weird. Really, Fizz? You haven't really looked at them too much? What's going on, Julie? How's it going? Good morning. So give me one quick second, guys. Let's see. Let me just make sure everything is running properly before I share my screen. Don't want to share too if I have anything crazy open. Let's see. Need that. I think everything else should be good. And actually, maybe this. What's going on, Gordon? How's it going? All right, let's share screen. Let's get this party started. All right, guys. So let's take a quick look at what's happening in the market right now. Fed Reserve's tapering, causing panic selling. Wow, a few subs here. Nice. Yeah, appreciate it. Julie, thank you for the support. Fizz, thank you for the support. Gordon, thank you for the support. You guys are really much appreciated. So let's take a quick look at what's happening in the market. Let's start off with Finviz. Right now, market, I mean, I feel like this is similar what happened yesterday when we were looking at the at Finviz. Indexes started low, but then they kind of pulled back up. Right now we can see Dow's pretty much flat, Nasdaq is pretty much flat, the S&P 500 is actually flat right now. If we take a quick look, how's orange juice doing? Let's take a quick look at futures. Let's take a quick now with orange juice is up 0.74%. Fizz, I mean, it's probably the best. Lumber is up again though. Lumber is picking back up after that huge drop. We can see orange juice is probably one of the coolest in my opinion futures to ever think about looking into. Dave, what's going on, Dave? I hear your live stream playback. Did you watch the Nvidia playback? Oh, whoops. Let me make sure all that, because that was from yesterday. That should be all right. Thanks for that, Dave. It should be. We hear double audio. All right. I thought he was all good now. Yep. It's because I forgot I have to give myself a few extra views. So I actually watch myself as well to make sure everything's good. And yesterday with the live stream, we were live streaming Nvidia's earnings call yesterday. So I had to figure out how to kind of put audio from my desktop. But we can see, right, market is just, it's kind of pulling back up. So I'm happy it's flat. Viewbot, for sure. Have like, I'm all these people watching right now, it's all me right now. So we can see, I mean, market right now, everything's flat, just like indexes. Some of the big boys, Microsoft is pretty much flat. Google is pretty much, is down 0.4%. Facebook is down 0.5%. Apple is down 0.68. Gordon, Jose's Thursday shopping day. Yes, I've been kind of busy working with the videos, but now that I'm done with my Thursday morning video, I am gonna go on the shopping. I haven't really announced what I'm buying yet. I do believe one of my buys is going to be CrowdStrike. That is definitely gonna be a buy for sure. Hopefully it's actually down right now. I would love for this stock to actually be down. It's actually up 1%. Regardless, it has seen quite a pullback in the past few days. What's going on, Fabio? That I'm liking this price point for CrowdStrike. So this is definitely going to be one. DraftKings is actually going to be another one for sure. I still don't know about my number 3 for today. But like always, guys, feel free on my Discord. I post on the real time. But let's take a quick look at the overall market. So it does seem like Chinese stocks are taking another hit again. Let's do full features real quick. Right, some of my biggest losers right now are PDD and Tencent. Both of those are down over 5%. MyPlay Studios is also down about 3%, but it definitely seems like the Chinese market is still taking an impact today. JD, when in doubt, buy Peloton. Have you purchased any more? You've actually built up your full position, did you, Fizz, or are you still buying onto Peloton? JD is down. So I mean, I think it's actually I'm surprised. It's not too bad. We have some of my players. Sorens is down. Abs and Magnite, I do believe right now the ad tech market, especially with what happened with Roku, even though, I mean, I think the ad tech market showed really strong performance, the ad tech market like apps, like Magnite have really taken a huge hit. This is I believe this Saturday when I do my videos on my upcoming week purchases for next week, apps, Magnite, and some of these other ad techs will make it into that list, just because I do believe these are now sitting at very, very attractive levels. There is an article which reads China dip buyers finally reached breaking point after 56% loss. That's crazy. I mean, it's definitely been pretty insane with that overall market right now. That's why sometimes, right, buying the dip, you have to have a plan. You can't just buy every single time. I usually have a plan that, hey, wait every so often. Red Robin. Damn it, now I want a burger. Is that Red Robin the overall food place? It's down 19%. That's actually pretty impressive. It's one of the few, I want to say, fast food joints. I don't even know if would be considered a fast food joint. But I do enjoy Red Robin. Who doesn't? Buy high and sell low. That's the motto we have here, Fizz. We buy high and we just kidding. But we see Square is pretty much flat. Google is pretty much flat. What's really up today? None of my big players, I think, are up today. We have Curie up. We have Net up. Speaking about Roku, it's up about 2%. But again, I do believe Roku is providing, for those that want to get into and are bullish in this overall market, Roku could be providing some form of buying opportunity right now. That's actually insane. I did not know if his Gravity dropped to $85.75. Redfin is also up. Nvidia is up a bit after earnings. It's up 1%. So we do see some green. We do see some red in the market. I agree. It's hard to buy every dip. What is your strategy for this? So Fabio, one of my strategies for buying the dips is first, what do I consider a dip? A dip I consider something when things drop dramatically. I want to say probably over 10% from all-time highs. And then what I do is I have plenty of cash outside waiting. I don't say it's waiting for a buying opportunity, but I have what is called an emergency fund. This emergency fund is waiting for some crazy pullbacks. If we don't get those crazy pullbacks, it's okay. It just stays there. It just waits. If we do have a crazy pullback, I do kind of use it. At the same time, that's also used for other emergencies. And when dips, I don't use it all at once. I use after, for example, if we have a 10% dip, I use maybe like 2%. Then if we see another 3%, I use another percentage. So I have almost unlimited funds to say for dip buying, and I like to dollar cost average over time. So Julie, I was hoping Nvidia would be up more. I mean, I was hoping for too, Julie. My margins have a very bad day. That's one thing I personally don't do, Bill. I'm not saying it's bad, and I'm not saying it's horrible to do that. It's just not meant for my risk tolerance. And I think every investor just has their own risk tolerance that really affects it. So for me, my risk tolerance right now, I don't deal with anything in margin. If I had cash right now, I buy up to 20 more shares of Gravity. Nice Fizz. I'm actually looking about that one as well, increasing my position even more. Let's see what else. I mean, Nvidia's earnings, I thought Nvidia's earnings were super strong. I do believe one of the biggest impacts on their earnings is just their supply constraint. For the next quarter, they only expect 4.6% quarter-over-quarter revenue growth, and hugely due to supply constraints. So I believe some investors right now are worried that, hey, maybe for the next few quarters, the growth story might not really be there for Nvidia until things about this semiconductor shortage kind of fix up. But semiconductor shortage, I don't think is going to be fixed over a few quarters, right? We still need to build a lot more foundries. A lot of these big players need to continue to invest in foundries. So it's more important of how like companies like TSM are going to continue to grow. Who knows if maybe Intel might still make it in time with building their foundries with the overall shortage still happening, right? So Bill, man, I'm super risk tolerant, and I agree, right? I don't believe there's a wrong. I don't believe there is a wrong method ever. It's just understand your risk tolerance and understand what can happen if things go south. But I do believe Nvidia's earnings were super strong. I liked it. I like the strong growth in the data center. I like the strong growth in the gaming. I like the strong growth in visualization. overall, Nvidia's earnings were super strong. The only yellow flag I thought was pretty much the ARM acquisition, the future guidance, and the overall supply constraint. Dewey, thank you for the support, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Fabio, I was thinking the same. Do you see Nvidia Intel agreement to produce chips in the U.S.? I mean, I don't think. I mean, for all I follow Nvidia, I haven't really seen any form of them producing chips. I don't see Nvidia entering that market anytime soon, of kind of making its own foundry to some extent. Or more, you're thinking about Nvidia asking Intel. Sorry, the question is Nvidia asking Intel for an agreement. I don't know, right? It all depends on what kind of margins they can do with the chips, right? Are their chips producing strong results? Then I don't think it would be bad. I don't think Nvidia would be against it. I also own Intel for hedging. They are too cheap. Billman, I mean, I do believe Intel is not a game over for Intel at the moment, right? Intel, I think that it gets a lot of bearish sentiment that it's game over. I don't think this is a one semiconductor win the whole market. And I think everybody has their own individual markets that they're hitting. Intel's, it's definitely seen better years, but it has plenty of cash flow for it to kind of improve itself over time. Now the question is, will leadership be able to kind of make the right moves for Intel? And Julie, isn't quarter 3 supposed to be the biggest jump? I feel like AMD will have a super explosive quarter regardless. They have been really working with TSMC to get supplies. So I mean, Julie, I don't think quarter 3. I think quarter 2. The first 2 quarters are usually when people really start to order products for the supply. One thing we saw Nvidia do is kind of order a lot of inventory. I think the biggest, let's take a quick look at Nvidia's revenue. Actually, I think maybe we can look at it. I mean, the real question is, back then it used to be sequential, right? It used to be sequential where you would see some certain quarters stronger than other quarters. But recently, it's no longer a sequential business. The semiconductor has kind of, with everything that's going on, it no longer has become, what's going on, Carlos, a sequential business, right? We can see it's growing and growing every single quarter, nonstop for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For the past 6 quarters, it has been on a steady upstream in revenue. So right now, it's very hard to determine which is the actual strong quarters for Nvidia or for any of these semiconductor companies, because right now they're not showing that sequential, that kind of cyclical, cyclical base that they used to. So it's very, very hard. I do believe AMD though will do good in quarter 3. And I do believe kind of this supply constraint on Nvidia is going to allow AMD to kind of push a little bit more of their products. I talked about it yesterday in yesterday's live stream. So I do think, unfortunately, Nvidia kind of, if they're not able to produce as much, some of these other suppliers are going to try to look for graphics cards, for other stuff in other places. That's where AMD is going to come in, them still being a little bit smaller than Nvidia in forms of sales. I do believe that's where AMD will be able to pick up some shares. So what else do we have? Fizz, questions about margins. Isn't it harder to be long-term when you risk margin call and need to sell off positions? That's actually really true, right? I mean, I feel like there's certain investors, Fizz, that only use margins once they have a huge sell-off, so they can kind of eliminate that risk. Obviously, volatility is still there in the market, but I guess some people play margins only during certain times. Anna, what's going on? Hi, any thoughts on Celsius and lemonade? It's so funny. They both sound like drinks. Lemonade is in the let's take a quick look at charts. So no real thoughts on lemonade. I am not too fond of the overall, I want to say, insurance market. So I don't think, I don't follow anything for lemonade to be exact. In forms of technicals, I do believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated. The stock price is kind of down a lot. In forms of Celsius, now Celsius is actually an energy drink. Celsius, similar thing. I mean, this one has just kind of been running up and has been in a steady uptrend. A lot of people, I think it was Fizz, has mentioned that Celsius has a crazy price to sales ratio. It has a price to sales ratio like some of these crazy tech companies that are, Bill, Jose, my Spanish. Yes, I am, Bill. I am Spanish. But Celsius is one of these companies that right now has a price to sales ratio like if it was a software company. So I do believe one of the yellow flags, like Fizz has mentioned, is the overall valuation for this company. At the same time, Celsius is growing it's growing at crazy levels, right? We saw over 100% year-over-year revenue growth. They're expanding in North America, they're expanding international. Their net incomes are also growing at crazy levels. So make sure, hey Carlos, make sure you guys, thank you, appreciate that support, Carlos, appreciate it. Reminding people to hit that thumbs up. How to speak so fluent in English? I mean, I feel like so many people complain in the comments my English is horrible. I actually came to this country when I was 5, Bill. So even though Spanish is my first language, English has been my dominant language. So I do speak Spanish at home, but pretty much for everything, I English has been my dominant language. So yeah, Celsius, I would say the biggest risk is valuation. I like it. I don't want to. I want to say it's going to be a very volatile stock. Anna, for sure. Celsius is going to be very, very volatile. I got in at a very low price point. I believe I got into like in the low teens when I entered Celsius. But Celsius could continue to grow. I do believe volatility and could give us better buying opportunities in the future. Extraordinaire. Taskus has been going crazy in the last month. What do you mean, Task? Extraordinaire. Not too familiar with that concept. Hi, Jose. What's going on, Corden? Can you check NVDA charging points for EV? Let's take a quick look, guys. And if any of you guys have any stocks or just any questions in general, I've been investing for a few years already. I believe I'm about to be 29, so I'm about year 8 in investing, and I've been learning a lot. Right, a lot of experience. I made a lot of mistakes. But through those mistakes, I think my portfolio has become better and better and better over time. And I do believe my investment style right now might be different in a year. I'm still continuing to grow my investment style and trying to learn as much as I can from other investors and just myself as well. So let's take a quick look at who was it? It was Gordon, right? Gordon wanted to take a quick look at NVVE. So let's start off with technicals. Again, I'm not much of a technicals, even though I'm starting here with technicals. I want to say technicals is the last thing I really look at when looking at companies. Extraordinaire, what's going on, Sergio? And we'll take a quick look at task as well. Extraordinaire for sure. So NVVE, Gordon says this is a charging point for EV. Right now, I want to say a good portion of the risk has been eliminated. It is not, I want to say it isn't overextended. It's kind of sitting here in this kind of support level. Again, obviously it could break support levels, but I do believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated. It's not anywhere near overextended. Now, if we look at simply Wall Street, let's take a quick look at fundamentals for this company. Right now, Nuvi Holdings, they are vehicle to grid software technology company. So right now they are super small market cap, right, Gordon? About $200 million. So this is super small. So right off the bat, a company this size will always be very, very volatile due to probably the very low volume. I do believe volume and any type of news would really kind of have this kind of movement, would kind of really fluctuate the price movement. So I think this is a stock that will be highly volatile. So if one is investing in a company like Nuvi, you have to prepare for that. If we take a look at future growth, this company is expected to grow at crazy levels, 89.5% on average. This company is not profitable. They're not even positive in cash flow from operations. So right off the bat, this is something that I would consider a speculative play, Gordon. And by that doesn't mean a negative term. It just tells me, hey, the company is still in early stages of its business. So obviously it can go south. Especially since the company is not profitable and is not making money from its everyday business. This is to expected, right? The EV market is still in early stages. I mean, even though we probably are seeing more Teslas out there on the road, there's the amount of internal combustion engines are still on crazy levels, right? The percentage is still ridiculous. So we're still in early stages in the EV market. This is more of a company of, hey, maybe a speculative play in the EV market. But let's take a quick look at their financial health. Financially, they have plenty of cash, $48 million in cash, no debt to their name. So they do have a decent balance sheet. And if we take a quick look at ownership right now, we can see the University of Delaware. So it does seem like they do have some backings by some educational institutions. Owns about 9% of this company. The overall CEO and co-founder, excuse me, guys, let me take a quick drink, owns about 7%. So, Gordon, right off the bat, I mean, fundamentals for a speculative play expected to grow at high levels, but remember, not profitable, not positive in cash flow from operations, a strong balance sheet. This is something very speculative. So, like Fizz says, this is something that has a higher chance of failing, but if the success is there, it will provide great returns. So something that, hey, if one wants to enter, if I was bullish in this market, it would be a very, very small position, probably less than 1%, but even less than 1% position, if the company executes properly, strong returns in an overall portfolio if you let it run. So those are my thoughts. Hopefully that helped out a bit, Gordon. Jose, can we look at Globy? What's with that high valuation? Yet I hear a lot of people talking about it, and Shopify is invested. All right, we can take a quick look, Viz, at Globy. Paulo, what's going on, Paulo? Corsair, thoughts? For sure, Corsair, and we'll take a quick look at Fizz. Let me just answer some of the questions before we do some heavy analysis. Corsair, I can answer really quickly. The gaming market as a whole, I think, is super strong, super bullish in the gaming market. If this is my first gaming play, for example, I don't think I'm sorry, I don't think Corsair would be my first gaming play. I believe there's a lot more gaming companies out there. Corsair, I think, is seeing strong growth in their Elgato platform, which is using for streaming content creators, any type of content creators, right? We have Facebook entering the content market. We have Etsy and Pinterest, I believe, are both also entering the content creation platform. So I do believe we're going to continue to see more content creators. They're going to be buying stuff from Corsair. So overall, I do think, even though people are returning back to home, the overall content creator community is still growing, which is great news for Corsair. At the same time, this is a company that's been very volatile. Their number one shareholder owns more than 50% of the business. So every time they sell out, it does create some form of volatility. This is more of a long-term play, especially at these levels, I would say. Corsair, I wouldn't be upset if it was in my portfolio. So let's see. Bill, I mean, I agree. I do believe technicals to some extent is BS. I do use it for some percentage just to see if a stock is overextended or underextended. It just increases my chance of being right or wrong. I don't believe in it 100% though. So Bill, man, thoughts on Disney and eBay, please. One short thing. I mean, Disney, I think Disney, in my opinion, super strong, especially great move on Disney with their overall Disney Plus. Disney Plus continues to be a top grossing all around the world, United States. It's and them kind of, I think Disney, they don't have as many shows as Netflix, but they have a really strong IP. Every month or so, they're releasing a new Marvel, a new Star Wars, a new something nostalgic as well. That's really driving users to keep on that platform and driving new users to download. I mean, I think right now they have over $100 and something million, and they're right there. Continue to increase. So Disney, super bullish for the Disney Plus. Super bullish as they continue to expand more into more animations, their overall licensing fees, and right now they did strong earnings even without theme parks really fully opened. Obviously, the Delta variant is going to cause some volatility on Disney. In forms of stock price, I believe that where it's at right now is providing a good buying opportunity to build up a base. Let's see. I know you're not a fan of the market it's in, but can you analyze maps? Find mainly their balance sheet. They are a SaaS, X stock, and just announced a partnership with Kevin Durant today. All right, we'll take a quick look at that, Kendo, in a bit. I want to take a quick look at Fizz's first before looking at any true analysis on other companies. So Fizz wanted to take a quick look at Globy. So this is one I kind of heard. I feel like there's some people on Twitter that are very, very bullish on this company. Right off the bat, it's a recent IPO and it's kind of overextended, right? I mean, overextension, just like I mentioned, doesn't guarantee a pullback. Doesn't guarantee a pullback. It just tells me the risk is higher. Let me show you how this chart reminds me a lot. Remember, this is a recent IPO with a lot of excitement. This actually reminds me of this one, actually. It actually reminds me of Unity back in the day. Oops. So Unity, when it IPO'd, I mean, you can kind of see it's actually the same chart. It's IPO'd and was very overextended for the first few months of its IPO price. So I want to say right off the bat, this could Globy, and then what happens? Then reality hits. and we get some better buying opportunities. So Globy, I think, is kind of showing similar charts, right? Hey, it recently IPO'd. It's just kind of been nonstop growing. There could be a potential of better buying opportunities, but let's see why people are so excited about Globy. So you mentioned, Fizz, they kind of call it the Shopify, a Shopify market. So Globy, market cap of $10.8 billion. And I'm guessing it's Global E Online. I don't know why I keep calling it Globy, but Global E Online. So they provide a platform to enable and accelerate direct-to-consumer cross-border e-commerce in Israel, the United States, and international. So right now, future growth, this company is expected to grow 37% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. So this is a high growth company. They are not, I wouldn't, they're not barely profitable, but are they positive? But they are positive in cash flow from operations. As a software company, I believe the cash flow from operations is more important. So that has been constant for almost a year and a half now. So this company does have some strong fundamentals in that regards. If we take a look at its financial health, this company has no debt whatsoever and about $500,000 in cash and short-term investments. So and this is at June 29th. All right, so they have plenty of cash. And this is the thing, guys. Sometimes you look at this. If you looked at Globy before they kind of went IPO, you would have looked at their balance sheet and they would have showed very low assets. After IPO process, they obviously built up a good amount of, it's not really just software, I think, because the margins aren't that great. All right, so let's take a quick look at their website. But overall, this huge growth in cash and short-term investments is thanks to this company's recent IPO process. If we take a quick look at ownership, venture capitals and private equity firms own a nice amount, about 40%. We can see general public owns 21%, public companies own 16.9%. You did say Shopify owns a bit. Did you say Shopify invested in it, Fizz? I don't see their name under their, unless they're going under another name, maybe Red Dot Capital or Apex Partners. They could be going under another name here. But I think you mentioned, right? And Shopify is invested. I wonder who are they, how they are invested in it. They might have another type of investment house where they kind of buy into other companies. But let's take a quick look at their information. I want to take a quick look at their website. So Smart Cross Border. So a lot of big players use them, right? I mean, Marks and Spencer, Forever 21. I mean, I don't do much shopping. I'm guessing maybe some of you guys, the only one I think I know is I'm basic as heck. So when I was younger, I know Forever 21, right? But they have partner integrations with some of the big players, right? DHL, Facebook, Shopify, IBM, PayPal. So I mean, it's not a small company. They have some big players for sure. But let's take a quick look at this company's future revenue. Maybe they have some investors relations website here. Is anybody here in Globy? Fizz, I'm guessing we will sponsor them for their CBD products and the new delivery system they have. Any new eyes is a good thing as they make decent money from ads. Oh, wow, that's actually pretty interesting. So let's take a quick look. They reported earnings on August 16th. Revenue grew 95% year over year. And let's see, agree, right? So Fizz, their gross margins, if this was more of a software-based company, obviously gross margins would be a lot higher, but gross margins, you would expect somewhere around 70%. Gross margins are about 36%. They are adjusted EBITDA profitable, but let's take a quick look. I want to see what their full year outlook is. So for the full year outlook, they expect about $200 million. Is that it? And this has a market cap of what? It has a market cap of, it had a market cap of 10 billion, right? So 2 divided by 0.2. Wait, am I doing this right? No, I'm not doing that right. So 10 billion divided by, nope. Come on. 10 billion divided by 0.2 billion. So it has a price to sales ratio of 50 on this forward earnings. So it's pretty high. I mean, I don't think is Shopify that high. Let me take a quick look at Y charts. Y charts, where are you, Y charts? I want to see what's the price to sales ratio. Yo, what's going on here? Why don't I have my Y charts? There we go. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why it's so expensive. So let's take a quick look at price to sales ratio for Shopify. I mean, Shopify, I think it's Shopify price to sales ratio, forward price to sales ratio is about 29. I think that's for 1 year. I think if we take a look at real ones, this is the actual one. It's actually 40. So it's actually 40.8. Shopify is that expensive, but their margins are very high. That is actually very true, right, Fizz? So price to sales ratio, it all depends on margins. What are margins for Shopify? Let's take a quick look at gross margins. Gross profit margins for Shopify in the most recent quarter were about, I don't know if this is most recent quarter, but it shows about 54%, where for this company was 36%. So this Shopify is cheaper in price to sales ratio. It's also higher in gross margins. Again, I still don't understand the company as a whole, but if it is like a Shopify competitor, it seems like Shopify is still, I think the only thing right now is, hey, it has that kind of, I want to say getting into the stock early type of mentality, but even sometimes getting into a stock late like Shopify can still provide long returns over time. I mean, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, even investing into them when they're already $100 billion companies, they have still provided strong returns for investors. So sometimes we don't really have to find the next big thing. Sometimes the next big thing is still the current big thing. They only do shipping solutions, I think, Fizz. All right, so I mean, fundamentally, they don't look bad, right? They definitely had that strong growth. They're profitable in positive adjusted EBITDA. They're also positive in cash flow, and they had a strong balance sheet. So fundamentally, not the worst things. Maybe valuations and technicals, stock price being overextended might be some of the biggest yellow flags at the moment from what I could see. So let's see, what other stocks did you guys want to take a quick look at? Feel free to post on the comments, guys, and appreciate the support. You guys are being awesome. All these live streams are getting better. I remember when I first started here on YouTube, we were doing live streams. We were getting like 15 people, 20 people. Now we're breaking at least 40 people consecutively. So appreciate the support, guys. And to me, right, I try to just, this is the best time. I know I have the Discord channel and I try to communicate with you guys, but I'm always busy kind of working on a new video, doing research, that this is the best time that I can really kind of talk with the overall community. So it's the time. If you guys have any questions on any of my investment thoughts or just any opinions on any stocks, this is the best time to use it. So Dave Silva, let's take a quick look at ACN. So ACN, this is Accenture. Not familiar with the market. So first, right off the bat, again, technicals, not the biggest things, but it is a bit overextended. Doesn't mean it's bad, just wanting to get a sense. Yeah, agree, right, Fizz? I don't think you meant it in the bearish thing. Just wanted to see the overall fundamentals of it. Agree, Fizz. So right off the bat, I do want to say the stock price has been a beast since freaking COVID, nonstop beast. And I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess this is in the healthcare industry. I don't think many markets have stayed like this unless they are in the healthcare. And Accenture, it kind of sound, I don't know, but let's see. So right off the bat, overextended. So there is a risk of a pullback, but we can see for the past year and a half, it has been overextended. It has provided some form of pullbacks, but then it continues to rip up. We can see it kind of pull back here, it kind of pull back here, it kind of pull back here. So who knows, maybe it might pull back around here. At the same time, it might not be that big of a buying opportunity compared to where the stock price is at. But let's take a quick look at fundamentals for ACN. So ACN Accenture, this is a pretty big company, right? $205 billion market cap. They are a professional service company, provides strategies and consulting, interactive and technology operate. Okay, so they're more of a software company. Pretty impressive, right? I don't think software markets has kind of really, I haven't seen much software companies with that type of return. So that's actually pretty impressive, 205 billion. So they are a big player and they are growing at crazy levels. Future growth, this company is expected to grow 8.5% on average. So not the biggest growth company, but they are super positive in earnings. They are super profitable in cash flow from operations. So right off the bat, fundamentally, they are in a good place. I don't think this company is going anywhere anytime soon. Especially, look, cash flow from operations is about $10 billion a year out of about $50 billion in revenue. So they are making a lot of money from their everyday operations. If we take a look at their health, pretty impressive. They have about $10 billion in cash and short-term investments. So with this type of, if they haven't done anything soon, anything recently, I do think with this type of balance sheet, with that type of cash flow, this company is out there looking right now for some form of acquisitions. They are going to start buying some companies here and there to overall increase their overall market exposure. Again, at the end of the day, I don't know it, but seeing that type of fundamentals with that cash flow, cash and short-term investments that they have, they are looking out there. They're going to buy something pretty soon. Right now, institutions already own most of this company, the Vanguard, the Blackguard. Let's see, Dennis, and we'll take a quick look. And now let me just take a quick look at ACN, Accenture PLC. I want to take a quick look at this company in form of, let's take a look. This is profitable, so EV to EBITDA forward. Right off the bat, I do want to say compared to where this company has been in the past, it's very high. I do believe the software market right now is the market that is a bit overvalued. Obviously, they can continue to roll up, but we can see compared to where it's been in the past, EV to EBITDA ratio forward is about 20.8, where normally is around, I want to say, the low teens. Maybe if we take a look at PE, forward PE ratios, it's kind of the same thing. They're kind of similar. I prefer EV to EBITDA opposed to PE ratio, but you can see PE ratio compared to where the company has been in the past, it's pretty high, very high compared to its past. So I don't like companies where management has zero skin in the game. Fizz, pretty interesting take, right? I mean, how about this AMD? Does Lisa Su own any shares of AMD? I think the answer is no. I'm actually curious. Kendall, no, I haven't looked at maps. The reason I kind of skipped over you, Kendall, was Dave is actually a friend of mine. So I obviously had to go with him. So let's see. Ownership, right? I don't think, right, AMD is one of those companies where institutions have 0% in the game, right? So there obviously are some great companies out there. AMD has been, and you all know, Fizz, you own AMD, right? So I guess it all depends about the company and the market they're in. So Kendall, let me just do a quick look for you on maps. I know you've been waiting. I'm guessing this is this it? Maps, are they an Italy company? Italian company? Italy company, Italian company? Or is it Maps or is it this one? WM Solutions. Okay, it's this one. So it's WM Technologies. So this is a super small market cap, $1.7 billion. So not a big company. Right off the bat, I'm going to say this is going to be something that's very, very volatile. Let's take a quick look at the technicals for the stock price. So I got it. Yep, I got it. So right now, obviously the stock price has taken quite a hit. I do believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated, is sitting at a good volume area at the same time. So if one was bullish, I would say that, hey, this is now the time to get into. At the same time, super small market cap. The overall industry it's in, I believe, is going to be a very volatile industry. So I personally wouldn't enter with a big position. But this company, look, profitable in earnings, positive in cash flow from operations. So right off the bat, strong fundamentals. They are also expected to grow at strong levels, 28.6% on average. And if you take a look at their financial health, they have, let's see, so they have plenty of cash, $91.7 million in cash. They have other type of liabilities that make them kind of weak in debt to equity ratio, but they have plenty of cash and they have no debt to their name. Outside of other liabilities, this might be like rental properties that they're having or rental facilities that they have right now. So that might be other liabilities. But if we take a look, this company in forms of fundamentals, they have plenty of cash flow to, I believe, continue to I wouldn't really worry about that negative debt to equity ratio. Overall, their balance sheet could be a little bit better. If we take a look at ownership, institutions own a good portion already and the general public. So not much insider ownership. Fundamentally, not the worst company. Strong positive earnings, positive cash flow, strong growth. Their balance sheet could be a little bit better. That debt to equity ratio is a bit weak in my opinion. It's actually negative, but it's not due to any heavy debt, and they do have plenty of cash right now. So let's see. Those are my overall thoughts, Kendall. This, if I was to ever open a position like this, it would be super small. So Fizz, yeah, I don't like it either, but she has insane bonus package based on, that's actually true, based on execution. I think she was the highest paid CEO in 2018. That's insane, Fizz. That's actually pretty impressive that you know that much. So guys, I do have prior engagements at around 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock. So I am going to cut this live stream short right now. I do appreciate the support, guys. Thank you so much. I'm sorry if I missed your stock. I will be tomorrow. I actually am getting a haircut, so I don't know if I will be on tomorrow. But if anything, guys, I will see you guys on Monday. Thank you so much for the support. I will be dropping videos tonight, tomorrow, and pretty much Saturday. But live stream will start back on Monday. So take care, guys. See you next time, and hope everybody has a good day. Now, let me end this overall live stream. Peace out, guys. Actually, before we leave, I just want to give a huge shout out to Fizz, to Gordon, to let's see who else we got in here. Gordon, everybody who donated, Julie for donation. So thank you so much, guys, for the donations. Appreciate the support and appreciate everybody else that is here just coming in and talking with me. So take care, guys. Peace out and see you next time for real this time.